Hi, I'm Beaver Buddy. Get ready for a magical children's story with an unforgettable moral about adapting to challenges. What if a ship could sail the desert instead of the sea? Captain Windwhisk's vessel slid over golden dunes like waves under a blazing sun. The ship's sails were made of shimmering silk that caught desert winds, glowing like molten gold against the endless, cloudless sky. His only companion was Pebble, a talking compass with a squeaky voice who always knew the safest path across shifting sands. They traveled in search of the Oasis of Whispers, a place said to grant one wish to any traveler who reached it with pure intentions. As night fell, stars poured like glitter over the dunes, and the ship glided silently, leaving a silver trail in the moonlit sand. Pebble told tales of mirage dragons and singing dunes, filling the long nights with wonder and keeping the captain's heart light. One morning, a sandstorm rose from nowhere, roaring like 1,000 lions and twisting the sky into a spinning wall of gold. Windwhisk held tight to the wheel as Pebble shouted directions, their voices nearly swallowed by the deafening desert winds. The storm tossed the ship high on dune waves, the silk sails snapping like thunder as they fought to stay upright. When calm returned, the desert looked strange. Mountains of sapphire glass rose where only sand had been before. Pebble admitted he had never seen this place, and his needle spun wildly, unsure of which way to point. Captain Windwhisk stepped onto the glittering ground, hearing faint whispers that seemed to call his name. The voices led them deeper between glass peaks, where rivers of light flowed, reflecting rainbows into the air. Suddenly, the ship began to sink. Beneath the glass was soft sand, swallowing it inch by inch into an unseen pit. Windwhisk dove forward, clutching Pebble, but the ship vanished with a final sigh, leaving them stranded in shimmering silence. As they searched for a way out, a giant crystal beetle emerged, its shell carved with ancient runes glowing faint blue. The beetle spoke, its voice like rolling pebbles, asking why they had dared enter the forgotten desert of reflections. Windwhisk explained they were seeking the Oasis of Whispers, hoping only to find a place of rest, and perhaps a little magic. The beetle's eyes glowed warmly, yet it warned them that the oasis could be found only by those willing to lose what they valued most. Pebble trembled, realizing they had already lost the ship, the vessel that had carried all their memories and adventures. The beetle lowered its head, allowing them to climb onto its broad, gleaming back as it began to march over glass and sand. For days they traveled, the beetle's footsteps echoing in the vast stillness, until the glass mountains gave way to golden plains again. There, in the distance, a lake shimmered like liquid silver, palm trees swaying despite the windless air. They approached, but the closer they came, the more the lake seemed to drift farther away, like a dream fading at dawn. Windwhisk stopped, remembering the beetle's words, and whispered, "We must let go of wanting it for ourselves." At that moment, Pebble's needle steadied, pointing directly to the lake, which now lay only a few steps ahead. The water sang softly, and when they touched it, the oasis spoke, offering them one wish for their selfless choice. Windwhisk wished not for treasures or power, but for the desert to guide lost travelers to safety, as it had guided them. The oasis glowed brighter, and suddenly they stood once more beside their sandship, sails full, ready to sail the golden waves. Moral: true direction comes when we stop seeking only for ourselves and start caring for the journey of others. See you soon with more magical adventures, wonderful places, and and heartwarming tales with Beaver Buddy.